Well, welcome to the 2012 SEMA Show. Here we are. We're at SEMA again. Been here for 15 years. Originally we came here with the exhaust brake, and now we're here with turbochargers, transmissions, all sorts of suspension systems, EGR coolers, and all the products for diesel performance that you have for your pickup or heavy-duty industry. Well, we're going to get into some of the specific products that we've designed over the last couple of years. Some of them we designed just in the last 6 months. Just give us a few seconds and we'll get ourselves ready and you'll hear everything that's new. We're the first on the market to develop a twin compound system for the Dodges, and this is what we call our towing twins. We make this for an engine that'll be 500 horsepower, 6, 7, 800, and 900 horsepower, all just by changing the turbochargers. And it's a nice kit because everything is casted. All the pipes are designed to maintain the velocity flowing, and talk to anybody that's got one on, it's one of the best turbochargers on the market. And of course, if you have that much power, you're going to have to do some modifications to the transmission to hold it. We have our own triple lock clutch converter. We make all the parts inside. We just released our 68 transmission for the Dodge application, where we changed the dog clutches out. We changed the amount of pistons that are in there, changed the thickness of the pistons so that we can increase the amount of clutches, so we can have additional holding power. But as well, we have an electronic device that'll take that clutch apply pressure from 120 psi up to 250 psi. So that's for the 68. Brand new release for us here at the show. We're setting up exclusive dealers around the country that are fully tooled with the transmission flushers, all the scan tools, and pressure monitoring devices. The other thing that we have, here you have exhaust housings. This is a stainless steel housing that we're just releasing. The beauty of a stainless steel housing is it holds the heat in, so therefore it provides more turbo drive pressure. We have other manifolds as well. And, you can see there that what we've done is we've keeping the inside of the exhaust manifold small to keep the velocity of the exhaust gas flowing, because that's what drives the turbocharger. You go to an exhaust housing that has the larger ports, it actually cools down and reduces the drive pressure. So we make these exhaust housings to not only prevent cracking, but to improve turbocharger performance. Last year at SEMA, we got an award for our turbine diverter. Let me show you exactly what it is, because we actually just went into production in March. Doggone it, we missed the race season last year, but we're going to be ready for it this year. What a turbine diverter does, this is the beauty right here. It's a butterfly valve where it actually directs the exhaust flow into just one of the volutes on your turbine housing. And the reason why we want to do this is because often you put on a big turbocharger, like this baby right here. You need air to cool down your 600 to 1,000 horsepower engine. Well, what occurs is that you have to put on a big turbine housing because all the exhaust flow that you got coming out of this high horsepower engine. Well, you put on that big turbocharger and you just don't have enough bottom end performance. It works great at the top, but on the bottom end, if you're at the racetrack, you got to spool it up. Sometimes you can't even spool the darn thing up. So what happens is we take this turbine diverter, we mount it right on the turbine housing, just like this, and therefore it speeds up that turbocharger at the bottom end, gets rid of all that turbo lag, and makes that 800 horsepower engine street drivable, because you got good bottom end performance. You're going to gain about 60 horsepower without adding the extra fuel, because you've just got more air to burn that fuel that you were injecting. Okay, now when you turbocharge something, you put anything under pressure, it heats up. Hot air going into your engine hasn't got very much oxygen, so therefore you have to put on an intercooler. Now, all stock diesels do come with a turbocharger and an intercooler, but of course we are in the business of performance, so therefore when you increase the fuel in your engine, you got to change the turbocharger, or you're even just going to spin up the stock turbocharger. You increase the boost pressure, increasing pressure increases temperature. So therefore we have our extruded charge air cooler, an intercooler. Not just any intercooler, because the stock intercooler has what they call tube and fin. A lot of our competitors have tube and fin coolers, which is basically just a tube with a piece of metal stuffed down the middle of it. What happens with that design is it heats up, the piece of metal doesn't contact the sides anymore, so therefore you don't have an effective cooling anymore. With our extrude cooler, I don't know if you can catch a good close-up of this, but actually you have a piece of metal, a piece of aluminum, and we pull through a pore and open up, and we have more surface content that doesn't separate, and therefore much more effective cooling. Now, before I was talking about the extrude air cooler, well, we've taken that technology into a transmission cooler, where it's an extrude cooler So therefore, versus just in, like the other guys, they just have a tube which oil flows down with the fins on the inside to cool it off. I should say fins on the outside. What we've done with the extrude cooler is we've got the fins on the inside as well on the outside. So therefore, it's the most efficient transmission cooler on the market. And sometimes, in some heavy applications, you actually need more than one cooler. So what we've done, we've put a kit together that actually has two coolers back to back. The most effective transmission cooler you can find out there. Okay, now we've been talking a lot about performance, how to make them go. We can get the horsepower through the transmission, but you also have to stop that load. Now BD originally came out with the exhaust brake. It was a butterfly valve exhaust brake that mounted on the exhaust system that caused the engine to slow down because we had more pressure on the exhaust, on the combustion when it came up in the combustion chamber. So now what we've done, we've actually have electronic control for the variable geometry turbochargers like in the Duramax and the Ford 6.4. You just plug it in and it'll slow you down. All these products are available through BD at dieselperformance.com. We've got distribution all around North America, and if you want to see what's new, come down and see us next year, 2013. We'll be here.